Now, we have our second keynote speaker, Dr. Nour Naim. Nour is the founder and director of AI Minds. She's a researcher who's interested in artificial intelligence AI. She's interested in artificial intelligence, AI ethics, AI for social good, algorithm bias, computer vision, machine learning, natural language processing. Nour Naim received her PhD from the Department of Management and Artificial Intelligence at Istanbul Aydın University, Turkey. Nour will present on the topic of the use of AI during the genocide. Please welcome her.
ايوه انت اسئله سؤال صح كل شيء جهز عشان اول اطلاله. Yes. أبدأ. Yes. Yes, hello everybody. Thank you for having me for this very important event, and I hope that today I will speak with you and why the war in Gaza and suffering of our people, our families have stopped, but it's not yet. So today we will talk about how Israelis uses artificial intelligence tools, techniques, and all of this modern technology to expand the killing for Palestinians and Gazans people. So first of all, what's the meaning of artificial intelligence? Simply, it refers to computing systems which can rapidly process and analyze a huge amount of data and perform tasks that typically required a human intelligence and decision making. So when we are talking about Israeli, and it's not new for Israel to use artificial intelligence technology to massacre killing Palestinians, but this is the first time and is the one of the most shocking abuse of technology in modern warfare. And the head of the Israeli military digital transformation unit, they said that what used to take hours now takes a minute. So he's proud of this technology, and with the same amount of people, we do much more. That means we killing more Palestinians and families in Gaza. When we are talking about AI, we are talking about killer AI, not a responsible AI or an advantage of AI. We are talking here about the most horrific AI that used by Israeli military. The Israeli military want to kill more Palestinians faster and unleash the most powerful technology to do it, the most powerful technology in the world. Now they use it in Gaza as a laboratory to kill Palestinian families with lowest time and lowest effort. And a lot of investigation that talked about how the Palestinians as a West Bank and Gaza strips, one of the most severe people in the world and in the planet. When we are talking about AI and how Israel uses artificial intelligence, so we're talking about it's not a new, it's employed before the years when the Israeli imposed the siege on Gaza Strip. So they collected data about all of the people in Gaza for 230 million citizens in Gaza. They collecting data about health data, which is medical and health informations about peoples, and they collect about locations using GPS tracking or mobile data. They collect data about these families and peoples by making and using artificial intelligence tools to analyze the behaviors about these peoples, and they analyze the activity, analyze the habits, and they use financial data, transaction and economic activities. They use the cameras, the drones, and they use to gathering data about the social media monitoring, interaction analysis between the people, between organizations, between the society, and they use biometric data, which is Now they use it in the between the North and the South Gaza as the facial recognitions and fingerprint scanning, and they use the online surveillance like internet activity and online behavior. So when we are talking about artificial intelligence, we are talking about a lot of systems, a lot of tools, a lot of techniques, which have a lot of names like Fire Factory, Where is Daddy, Gospel, and Arbil, and etc. So but all of these systems, it's not an open sources, or you can making an easy search about how Israel uses these tools. So it's closely secrets, and in this genocide, there is a lot of investigation that happened by a lot of journals, and there's mainly 6 Israeli intelligence officers have disclosed how Israel uses of these systems to operate and automate a killing machine in Gaza Strip. So what the difference between the previous wars and this wars about how Israel uses AI tools? In this genocide, Israel decided to ignoring the harm caused by the artificial intelligence tools. So before 2021, there is a limited for harms for about 7 persons. You can kill 7 persons to target 1 or 2. But in this genocide, they open the harms and ignoring the harms, and they killing hundreds of families, hundreds of people just to kill 1 person. And that happened when they killed Ayman Nofel in the central Gaza Strip. So they kill more than they bombed a full neighborhood. So they kill more than 30 people, 100 people. It's included families, children, women, and just to kill 1 person who's Ayman Nofel by using AI tools. So the first tools or the first technique that we explained today, it's called lavender. So it suggests who to kill faster than humanity possible. This is shortly. The first lavender uses Israeli vast surveillance records to produce targets for its bombing campaign. So these techniques, it's just to produce a target production for Israeli military to decide who is the target for the next bombing. And this includes biometric data. They're using call phones, call records, location data, social network connections, like WhatsApp. So in this genocide, they who withdraw or close his phone for more than weeks, or who's after 7 October, who's WhatsApp, who's withdraw from a lot of WhatsApp groups related to activities or who works against Israel. So they decided these target, and they must be bombed and killing in this genocide. And they making a deep analysis by using deep learning technology to analyze the Facebook friends for every person in Gaza to make a connection between peoples and to decide who could be a target or not. So Lavender used this data to calculate threat rating, and they make for all of the people in Gaza Strip a rating from 1 to 100 for each individual in the Gaza Strip. And as we see here, they uses this data to decide who could be a target or not. Then they make a scale of the peoples to like a points for a people in Gaza, and as a result, every Palestinian in Gaza grows up under the threat of being targeted. This is clearly, it's even if it's a child or if a woman or elderly, there is no any differences between the people in Gaza. And every phone call they make, every friendship they build, and in this genocide, and every shop they visit can push their score up or down. This is the Lavender system. So here an example for a social scoring where individuals are recognized based on their social behavior or personal character. So there is a 78 point, and this could be a target in the next bombing. So this kind of social scoring has been found to discriminate against marginalized communities, against marginalized groups in the world. They use it in a lot of countries, and now they use it in between the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, and it's reduced individual to data points, simply as a data point. So it's making it easier to dehumanize them and ignore the life and death of this discrimination. This is why European Union AI Act, and I will talk about this issue, bans social scoring system that work like Lavender. It's banned inside the EU, but it's easy for the companies who are working in EU to sell these services to use it by Israeli against Palestinians and Gazans in this genocide. So this man have a score 78, so they put him as a target in the next bombing. So rating is above a certain threshold, and Israeli intelligence officers add them to the kill list. This is what's happening on the ground now in Gaza. So they using a rating for the peoples, and the machines and the deep learning and machine learning tools, which is as artificial intelligence technology, they decided who will kill in the next bomb or who will not kill. And in Gaza, Israeli officers routinely act on Lavender's recommendation without any verification, without any estimation of this, if it's have an error, if it's have unbiased or discrimination against people in Gaza. And there is a lot of investigation from officers Israeli officers who deals with Lavender. One of them, they say, even if you don't know for sure that the machine is right, you know that statistically it's fine. So you go for it easily. You're killing people without any making any recommendation or verification or etc. Another soldier who uses Lavender in Gaza, they said the meaning of this decision is dramatic. It means you are including many people with a civilian's communication profile as potential targets. So to make things worse, Lavender has started identifying civilians as a threat. They're defining doctors, they're defining co-workers, health co-workers as targets. So it's the problem. The problem here is coming from a background of the problem that between the theoretical and the practical technique inside artificial intelligence. Now, EU have a lot of negotiations about the rules, regulation, code of conduct to reduce the harms of artificial intelligence. But it's have a very massive and a huge gap between these discussions, these literature, these regulations and negotiation about that, and the practical field. So Israel uses it without any code of conduct, without any concern about the international law, the human rights law, and etc. So Israeli officers reported that they're spending no more than 20 seconds to reviewing the Lavender recommendation. So more than checking from one person, if it's the person sounds, it's clear, this is the person or not this. It means there is no any justification or any making control about the targets list or etc. So this is what happened in the first month in Gaza. They killed more than 3,700 people, depending on the artificial intelligence. And this is the Lavender. Then if the Lavender creating a list of targets, then the machine going to the next step, which is names where is daddy, as where is my dad, like it's where is my dad, and it's the killing. Here the killing is begun. So where is daddy? It's loading targets. So you put hundreds into system and wait to see who you can kill. It's like a games for soldiers. They decided when we will start, will start from north or south, this family or this family. And the targeting officer, Israeli officer, will upload names to the kill list. And on this point, there were 3,700 names uploaded to the kill list. And it's a huge database that like this with thousands of civilians. There are civilians, there is a families, there is a children, there is a doctors, there is a IT workers. So we are talking a very huge machine killing that uses by Israel easily without doing any effort, just to click on or off. And every name list monitoring their suspected location. So they decided the target list and they started to killing process. So they determine the location. And here the horrific things. These machines or these AI tools prefer to kill people inside homes because they making sure they will be killing inside homes, and they give a punishment for their family and relevance and networks. So what is that? It tracks every name in the, and as we said, and it suspect they have a return to their family home. A kill order is sent to the Israeli Air Force. So the Air Force, Israeli Air Force is ready just to decide to pushing on the bombs to drops the networks or homes. And the problems that it might be an emergency responders, journalists or doctors and etc. And as we witness that they killing as Rifat al-Ara'ir, as a lot more than 400 doctors, more than 1,000 health workers, more than 200 journalists, and etc. etc. So we are talking about they targeted the whole family and whipped out all of these families. So and in Gaza societies, the families may be living in the same apartment, especially after they bombed a lot of homes. So the families and relatives come and migrate or come to live together in the same apartment, and Israeli officers know that the civilians are likely to be killed, so they bomb the home with these families inside at the night. They prefer these machines or these AI tools. They prefer to killing people in the night to make sure the whole family it's inside in the home. So they bombed them in their home anyway. So, and this is a statistics that talked about they killed more than 1,500 Palestinians in the first just 6 weeks of the genocide on Gaza. So we are talking about a huge number. These numbers depend on the artificial intelligence analysis, not depend on any effort from human beings or Israeli soldiers. And Israeli officers and armies understood that the killing civilians was not a flaw or it's a mistakes by the system. So because we are talking about the bias and discrimination inside artificial intelligence tools against the marginalized groups, against the women, against the black teen, and etc. And this topic is the very hot topic in the EU and in the civil society organization. They negotiate about how we can minimize these discrimination and bias inside artificial intelligence to increase the responsible AI in the world. But Israel, in these technologies, they know that these tools will kill all family, the whole families. They kill with children, and they uses it by these inside the systems of Israeli military. So Palestinian families were bombed in their homes because it was simplest, because it's simplest way to automate the killing process. Just for that, not because they want to make sure if the family working against Israel, or there is an evidence these families integrated with any movement against Israel. So just because it's the simplest for Israeli war armies. And here, an Israeli intelligence officer, he said that the IDF bombed them in homes without any investigation. So they bombed without any making sure if this man or this target, he is inside home or not. They depend on suspicions systems, because the artificial intelligence or machine learning tools making analysis, but it's not sure 100%. So they making suspect maybe, and it's happened. They want a night port in Nusayrat because they suspect the leader of Hamas in Nusayrat. But and the end, they're killing more than 150 people, and the leader of Hamas is not in this area. So they depend on the just suspicion methods. It's much easier to bomb a family home. The system is built to look for them in this situation. This is the Israeli soldiers that the investigation by the Guardian talked about him. And what happened in Palestine does not stay in Palestine. What happened in Gaza does not stay in Gaza. What's the meaning of that? So Israel uses lavender, or uses where is daddy, uses another tools like gospel, and Israeli, before 2 weeks, they announced that the Israeli force being using an AI-powered weapon system in Gaza developed by Israeli and in collaboration with an Indian defense company. And this system transforms automatic weapons into computerized killing machines, according to a report published by Middle East Eye. So these documents and new reports reveal that the weapon system known as Arbil, which is a city in the West Bank, and enhanced the weapons produced by Israeli, turning them into digital weapons, and that use algorithms to improve targeting accuracy. So now India government or India defense companies participate in the genocide in Gaza, and it's participate for that. It's sent to Israeli automated weapons, but this weapon is the first time that uses by Israeli in genocide to commit massacres and genocide in Gaza. So they developed and they working hard, Israeli working hard to develop and use artificial intelligence to mass killing Palestinians and to expand killing for Palestinians without any efforts, without any investigations or making accuracy if there is any families, there is any civilians or not. And we are talking about these tools or techniques that depend on the big tech companies in the world. So the big tech companies provided infrastructure for Israel, like Microsoft, like Amazon. They give and open sources clouds for free to use it to gathering data about Palestinians and Gazans, to making a new target list and to update this information about Palestinian and Gazans. So all of these big tech companies it's participate in genocide in Gaza, and they use cyberware to hack into phones and Palestinian phones and maintain web of cameras at checkpoints between north and south in Gaza Strip, and in collected photos and the biometric data like facial recognition and etc. And this information they captured about Palestinians living under the apartheid or in the West Bank or in Gaza to feed the database, and they used to train a new genocide technology. And after all of that, and it's in front of all the wars, and it's lives 24 hours, 7 days a week. They use it, and they proudly we use a new technology, as Israel is the fourth state in the world that uses technology and artificial intelligence and produce this technology. So it's have power by using this technology. And in the last April, Israel sign on the human rights or the code of conduct, EU, the first EU code of conduct that to have a responsible AI. So Israeli and more than 55 countries, US, UK, and etc., all of these countries sign on the responsible AI use. So what's the world we live in? Israeli uses a lot of and the most modern technology to mass killing and to genocide, to committing massacres and to genocide in Gaza. And in the same time, they're killing Palestinians and Gazans, and they go to EU and they sign, we are agree and we are support the responsible AI and how and the ethical AI to minimize the harms from this discrimination and bias inside its technologies. And what the world we live, it's I don't know, really, I don't know. I don't find words to say about this and how Israeli is doing and how the world is accepted that, how the world, how US and EU and UK and all of these 55 countries, and there's another countries inside this list, they accepted that Israeli is coming in this negotiation and participated and signed on this the most important code of conduct. We waiting 3 years about the published of this the first code of conduct to reduce the harms of AI, and the Israeli is in the proudly and proud coming and signed, and it's like it's a miracle. It's like a very ethical. I don't know to say entity. It's a very ethical entity that talking and thinking about the responsible AI and how to increase the positive and advantage of using AI and decrease the disadvantage and the harms that causes by the artificial intelligence. So this is for today, and thank you for listening. And if you have any questions or you want to ask anything, you can contact me directly, send me an email or WhatsApp message. Thank you very much.